Today we will review how to write main ideas, integrate textual evidence, and write a thoughtful explanation using Laura Lynn's article, Homeless to Harvard. First, we will start with the main idea. After every text read, readers should identify the main idea. When determining the main idea, always go back to the title of the text and the annotations. If an idea is in the title and discussed several times in the text, that is a clue that it should be represented in your main idea statement. When writing the main idea, never write "the main idea is." Include the title of the text in MLA format. You will use quotations for larger works such as chapters, articles, poems, and you will use italics for larger works, books, plays, and movies, and so on. Also, in your main idea statement, include the author's first and last name. And when writing, you will never refer to the writer by only their first name. Make sure the main idea addresses the overall topic, and it is not just an important detail from the text. Main idea examples. This is a simplistic and incorrect main idea. The main idea of Homeless to Harvard is determination. The second example is a sophisticated main idea. In Homeless to Harvard, author Laura Lynn introduces the reader to a young man named David Boone who demonstrates how education and determination can help a person overcome obstacles. Notice the article title is included in the main idea statement. Also notice the author's first and last name is found in the main idea statement. And after introducing the article title and author, you will read a detailed main idea that encompasses the overall topic of the text and does not include a sentence stem, "the main idea is." The next step is to include quotes, also known as textual evidence. When introducing quotes, writers should use a tag phrase or words to introduce a quote. Otherwise, the quote is called a dropped or floating quote. However, when the tag phrase is "the author says," or "the author explains," or "the author believes," or "the author argues," it is not sophisticated and does not help the reader understand the quote. Instead, writers should integrate a quote within a sentence that shows the purpose of the quote, meaning we need to know why the writer is using it. Here are some quote or textual evidence examples. Now, as a note, avoid repeating simple tag phrases, such as "the author explains." The simplistic quote, "Laura Lynn explains one thing kept David going, his determination to do well in school," should be avoided. You want to start writing sophisticated quotes that integrate a quote within a sentence and shows the purpose of the quote. David Boone's life story was not an easy one, but one thing kept David going, his determination to do well in school. Notice the author's last name is inside parentheses along with the page number. We do this because we did not mention the author's name inside the sentence as we did with the simplistic quote above. After integrating textual evidence, the next step is to explain how it supports or proves the main idea. When explaining quotes or textual evidence, writers should not say, "this quote proves," "this quote shows," or "this quote supports." Instead, writers should use portions of the quote to explain how the quote proves the main idea without just rephrasing the information in the quote. Let's look at some explanation examples. The writer needs to explain the quotation using portions of the quote. So here's an example quote sentence we showed before. Now here's the sophisticated explanation using information from that quote. When David Boone was homeless, he often slept in the parks and did his homework on the train, but he was determined to never let his circumstances keep him from doing well in school. Notice the first part of the sentence has new information explaining how life was not easy. In the quote, it starts out by saying the life story was not an easy one. So we provide details about why life was not easy in the quote explanation. Also, notice in yellow that the words determined and doing well in school were taken directly from the quote sentence. Now, here are your next steps. Once a writer has a correctly identified and written main idea, quote, and explanation, they are now prepared to use that information to either create a body paragraph in an essay or to write an academic summary. Now, this is how a main idea, quote, and explanation can be transformed into a summary. In Homeless to Harvard, author Laura Lynn introduces the reader to a young man named David Boone, who demonstrates how education and determination can help a person overcome obstacles. Here you could insert explaining how these obstacles in education impacted him and provide details. Then notice here's the quote sentence. David Boone's life story was not an easy one, but one thing kept David going, his determination to do well in school. And here's our explanation sentence. When David Boone was homeless, he often slept in the parks and did his homework on the train, but he never let the circumstances keep him from doing well in school. The writer could then insert a sentence, quote, and explanation detailing how he was accepted into Harvard University. Then he could end with a strong concluding sentence that emphasizes his or her main idea.